Hi, my name is Lexi Ratring-Arns and I work for Vandersat. I'm really looking forward to explain to you in this session what Vandersat is all about and what kind of services we deliver to clients. On this image, you can see a picture of the Netherlands. It actually shows you the soil moisture conditions, average over a period of time. And you can see that certain areas are more wet compared to others. And I'm really looking forward to show you why these images are so unique and why are we the only ones to deliver this information at 100-meter resolutions every day. So how do we do that? By making use of a virtual constellation of satellite systems. They fly over the Earth frequently, almost every day, and they monitor the Earth's surface. A lot of these systems, they work within the visible light. So it's actually taking a picture of the Earth's surface every time they fly over. And you can imagine that sometimes if there are clouds, these satellite systems, they don't see anything. And what we make use of is passive microwave remote sensing technology. These systems use longer wavelengths to observe the Earth's surface, and they can thereby also penetrate through clouds. So every time they fly over, they actually obtain valuable information about the soil surface, and in this case, we derive soil moisture from this data. We have multiple systems that we rely on, so that's also why we always have a backup system available. So why is soil moisture such an important variable in understanding the agricultural risks, but also droughts? Because it's a resulting parameter of a lot of hydrological processes that take place. You've got rainfall, evaporation, rainfall runoff, groundwater contribution, and they all influence the stock value of soil moisture in the soil, which is there for the plants to use. So measuring soil moisture directly actually means that you're measuring the water available for the plants to grow. And that's also why this variable has such a strong link with agricultural yields. Some of the characteristics of our soil moisture data set are mentioned here. We have daily observations and we can see anywhere on Earth, basically, if we start processing. Our data is available at 100-meter resolution, and I'll tell you a little bit more about why that is so unique later. We go back 18 years in time, so we can look back until 2002 to see what has happened into the soil and how the soil moisture has been progressing. And this is very essential for understanding, putting current climate events into perspective. We don't have any cloud or darkness interference with our signal, which increases the way we can present data operationally. We always have a backup signal available, and we provide our data a couple hours after the satellite overpass in a near real-time manner. So we have an API available to connect to. So on the right side, you can see the publicly available data sets of soil moisture. In this case, you can go to the ESA CCI website and you can download these images for free. They're available at a 25-kilometer resolution, and they're actually specifically designed for the scientific community. And on the left side, you can see the Vandersat dataset, which has a resolution of 100 meters. It has been developed by our founder, Dr. Richard de Jeu, who has developed a now patented method of downscaling this publicly available data to an actionable 100-meter field scale resolution. And he has done that by making use of smartly overlapping satellite observations, raw satellite observation images, and adding other geospatial information to it to really resolve this information at a 100-meter scale. I already said that this now becomes actionable, which means that clients in the agricultural sector who work at field scale can actually start using this data, and it's not only for the scientific community. So you might ask, can these satellites actually observe what's happening on the ground? And we've been involved in numerous validation studies across different continents. Here you can see a validation which has been done in Australia, where you can see the satellite observed signal, colored in pink, compared against the in situ, which means the soil moisture probes inside the soil, in black. And you can see a really good correlation, and we observe that across all our validation studies, which are also published on our website. And the advantage of this is twofold, because soil moisture probes are very expensive. So you cannot put like thousands of soil moisture probes all across the fields because it becomes just a very expensive exercise. Satellites enable you to actually zoom out in a very cost-effective manner and observe what is happening across multiple fields. Yeah. So how do we present our data? How can you interact with their data? This is a little bit of an example of that. On the left side, you can see the wondershare data viewer, which has a soil moisture image of a given day. If you click on a field, it shows you the progression of soil moisture over time. There's only a short period of the time series presented here, so from 2015 to 2019. And yeah, I'll take you through this graph. The blue line means the daily soil moisture observations which are measured. The red line are then the averaged, the daily observations averaged by a moving window to actually look at trends in the data. And that red line is then compared to the climatology, which reflects the normal conditions of the soil moisture for that time of the year. And that actually shows you that sometimes there are really wet events, and others there. And when the red line goes below the climatology, the black line, you can actually start seeing drought events. So this is a slide about our company, just an introduction of the people who I'm working with. We're really based and rooted deeply into science. We have a bunch of people with a PhD degree on our team, but we're also pursuing it. We have strong links with universities such as TU Delft, Ghent University, and TU Vienne. Our founder, Dr. Richard Dejeu, is one of the most quoted scientists in the world. And we contribute a lot to the IPCC report, and we are actually also the developers within the soil moisture CCI unit of ESA. So yeah, we really have the expertise on soil moisture, satellite observed soil moisture in the world. So this is a selection of our current clients. We work with clients within the agricultural sector, within the insurance and reinsurance sector, but also NGOs, governments, banks. Yeah, we're really proud of this list, which is not complete. This is an overview of the services that we provide to clients. Precision farming advice is mostly focused on irrigation, pesticide reduction, but also fertilizer management. Crop yield prediction is, we've noticed that our soil moisture satellite data set really correlates well with the observed crop yields. And that's why we've started a crop yield prediction service for the agri-commodity industry. We deliver index insurance services as well as credit scoring improvements for loans for the insurance and banking sector. We also provide water management and fire management services for more governmental organizations or NGOs and water management. And I'll explain a little bit more about each of these services. So these are the building blocks that we use for our agriculture, food, and commodity clients. We have soil moisture information, which I've already explained about. But besides soil moisture, we also have soil temperature that we observe daily. And we're working on developing a proxy to measure biomass, which is also a very, very interesting product. And with these products, we can actually advise companies. We can improve together with agricultural knowledge from our partners. We can improve the timing of the sowing, because soil moisture is a very essential parameter and can improve. If you know the correct soil moisture, you can really improve your sowing practices. And you can also increase the efficiency of the agricultural inputs. For example, applying fertilizer should be done within the right soil moisture conditions. If we're looking to integrate our data set in irrigation models, you can actually imagine that we can save a lot of water by optimizing irrigation advice based on what is actually needed to add to the current soil moisture that we're measuring. So that would really improve water efficiency. And like I already mentioned, as we're able to link soil moisture to yields, we can start predicting early in the season whether this year will achieve good yields or not. So these products, some are, soil moisture is a product that we have available near real time, daily and globally. In soil temperature, we are able to process that anywhere in the world at request. And we are still working on in the development phase of the biomass proxy. So we will be publishing updates on that on our website and through social media channels. For the insurance sector, for reinsurance firms, we present ourselves as the independent calculation agent that delivers unique data for insurance applications. And how does this work? If a farmer would like to insure himself or herself against drought, you can do that with traditional insurance methods, and they usually involve loss adjusters who go to the field after a drought event had happened, and then the loss adjuster assesses the damage. In this case, if you talk about index insurance, the loss adjuster is actually replaced by a satellite observing the Earth. So the soil moisture, because we know that the soil moisture deficit is so directly linked to agricultural losses, it can be a parameter that estimates the agricultural losses. So if you're monitoring the soil moisture throughout the season and you can see a soil moisture deficit building up, at a certain point you also know that this will cause damage to the crop. So that's the basis of index insurance. And it has quite some advantages because you can imagine it has cost reductions associated with it. You don't need any loss adjusters anymore, would go to the field after the fact has already been done. And it also is a very objective manner of, establishing the damage. There's no sort of subjectiveness to a satellite observation. So Wondersat really provides this independent, scalable data services to clients, by which they build on index insurance products, which look a bit like the concept presented on the right. So you've got different phases across the growing season, and for each phases, there are certain triggers associated with accumulated soil moisture deficit, and a payout is triggered if the drought is, in this case, very extreme or severe, and then the farmer receives compensation for the losses. We're really proud to have this operational insurance live in a number of countries, and we're working to add them in other geographies. Malaysia is not on the list yet, and Southeast Asia is still not colored in well, so I'm really looking forward to also discuss with you the possibilities when you see opportunities here. Another service that we deliver for banks is that we can actually reduce the risks for when they are lending to farmers. So if farmers want credits, the risk associated with their production, so with their cash flows, are usually not very well known. And with the climate data that we have, we can actually predict what their production will be, and therefore their cash flows and their ability to then pay back the loans, just solely based on our satellite data, which is based on the intensity, variability, and timing of the water conditions derived from our data set. This is a really interesting application of our data that we are also really currently developing. For NGOs or governments or any other institutions that are monitoring larger scale areas on disasters, we have developed these different services that are presented here on the slides. So we monitor areas for drought monitoring. We do that in the Netherlands, for example. We also deliver services to the fire department in the Netherlands, where we monitor sensitive vegetation, which is when there is a high outbreak of fires when it's associated with high temperature. And we're also developing inundation maps. Yeah, so this was kind of like a quick overview of the services that we have for clients. And I'm really looking forward to talk with you and see if you have any opportunities that you think of might be very interesting to work on together. So don't hesitate to send me an email. Thank you very much for this opportunity.